Hello and welcome to the 1 year anniversary special.
And welcome to this 2-year anniversary special. And welcome to this 3-year anniversary special. That's because it has been 4 years since starting on January the 10th, 2011. Hello and welcome to this 5-year anniversary video. Hello everybody and welcome to this 6-year anniversary special. Oh boy. Making these gets weirder and weirder every time because yes, 6 years ago on this very day, January the 10th, 2011, I uploaded my first ever video to this channel and I've been going ever since. And so every year I like to do something special, just a little video to mark it and see where the channel's gone in the past year and perhaps where it's heading. And like I say, I try to do something special, but this year it's not really going to be anything special. I'm sorry, but you can't always top the thing you did last year. So last year we did this nice sort of a clip show, really, of kind of favourite moments from across all my videos, which was really nice. And once again, this date always seems to sneak up on me, and I forget about it until only a few days beforehand. So I didn't really have time to do anything. I didn't really have any good ideas. I think we're going to keep this at a nice sort of ramble level. Nothing too fancy. In fact, I've got my cup of tea, so you could call this a 6-year anniversary with a ramble and a tea. That kind of rhymes. That can kind of be the tagline for this video. So yeah, 6 whole years. Oh, a recurring theme in these videos. You better settle down because I'm going to start ranting and raving. A recurring theme in these videos is me commenting about the passage of time and how it seems to go faster and faster every year. These numbers, they start to rack up, and I'm beginning to get a nice collection now of anniversary videos. And I mentioned last time how when I look in a folder, and I still maintain this point, when I look in a folder and I see these anniversary specials, because they're all in one folder, each video represents a year. And that could sound kind of dumb, but if you think about it, like, that's really weird. Like, each one of those videos is a year of my life, pretty much, in one form. You know, in my life in terms of YouTube. And there's another one to be added. Another year has passed. Just think of it this way: if someone had been born on January the 10th, 2011, they would by now be walking, talking, in school, making friends. Like, it would be a person. Right, they'd be 6 years old, and that's how long I've been doing this. I've now passed the halfway mark in terms of we're going closer to a decade now. Oh, and it's something to be proud of. I'm really happy that what started as just a few stupid, crappily made Simpsons game videos, and I mean really badly made. Although we've been through this in the previous anniversary special where I watched it back, but started out as that. Has now, I mean, I can't say I've grown massively. I'm not one of those subscribers that has over 1 million. I'm not one of those YouTubers that has over 1 million subscribers and tons of views and rolling in that YouTube money. But what I can say is that I have thoroughly enjoyed each and every moment doing this, or maybe not every moment. That's maybe a bit too much hyperbole, but I've enjoyed a considerable percentage of doing this YouTube thing in what I thought would only be a kind of little funny test, sort of, we'll do it for a laugh, see if I can do it well. And, I stuck with it. I've got to give myself that. I've stuck with it for 6 years and I haven't let many things get in the way. Okay, university work has stopped it at times or paused it or delayed it, but for the most part, we've been going pretty consistently for 6 years. And I don't want this video to be like just me patting myself on the back, like, oh, I've done such a good job, oh, it's 6 years. Because, although I could do that, I won't. I just kind of want to talk about how I feel and where I want to go with this and how the year's gone. Like I said, this is nothing special. This is really going to be like a stream of consciousness, to be honest. I'm just going to ramble into the microphone, sip on my tea once it's cooled down a bit, and talk a lot of rubbish. So, yeah, we're at 6 years. What's happened in this last year? What's happened between January the 10th, 2015? No, oh God, it's not even 2015 now. Oh, what has happened between January the 10th, 2016 and today? Well, in terms of video series, let's go through them. I wrote them down here. So these are all the videos. The main series doesn't include one-off videos. Well, actually it does. The main series of my channel. I finished off Curse of Monkey Island, finally. That one took a long time. I Let's Played the original Time Splitters, the first one, which I'll go through these again. But Time Splitters, Portal 2 with Naxa, Q&As returned, JFS videos continued, as did UHCs. Tried something a little bit different in terms of things like the Simpsons Advent Calendar, and also, it's a small thing but it's very different, is the Carrie Fisher video that I recently uploaded. And then more recent proper Let's Plays include Planet Coaster and Back to the Future. So let's just go through some of them, give my thoughts on them, of what I can remember, to be honest. I have terrible memory, as you should probably know by now. That's why I need all these videos. That's why I always go on about how these videos are like a diary to me, because I have such bad memory. Anyway, so Curse of Monkey Island. I feel like I've talked about that last time. Really, I think it was towards the tail end of, or actually no, the opposite. It was near the beginning of that year where I finished it. So, yeah, Curse of Monkey Island. I do need to start. What is the fourth one called? Escape from. I can't remember. Maybe it's Escape from Monkey Island. But I do need to start that, which I think is going to be a right pain to get working. But at the moment, we are up to date with point and clicks in terms of we are playing Back to the Future. But yeah, Curse of Monkey Island is definitely a series that I want to continue on my channel. The franchise, that is, Curse of the Monkey Island kind of games. They're all well-made games for the most part, and they've got nice humour. And I don't know, it's sort of become one of those things that I sort of do. Like Simpsons is one of my things, or you could argue Destroy Humans is one of my things. That's a popular Let's Play of mine. But I say Curse of Monkey Island, or rather just Monkey Island, is now one of my things I do. Moving on, Time Splitters. So, Time Splitters, I finally Let's Played. It was about time I finished off that trilogy of games. And Time Splitters was a bit different for me because it was a Time Splitters game that I hadn't really played. I started off playing the second game in the series, and I never really went back and played the first until now when I Let's Played it. So it was eye-opening in how different it is and how simple and how basic and how, you know, it's not the same sort of game. It's got no storyline really. It's very watered down. I mean, that's not the right way to put it, because watered down would make it seem like it came after the other games. It was sort of the starting block for what was to come. So, and being a PS2 launch title, it was always going to be fairly simple, I suppose. That's way back in 2000, I think. 2001? I think it's 2000. But it was just nice to finish off that series and wrap it up in a neat bow. So now, 3 playlists, 3 games, all done. I guess the only thing now to wait is for Time Splitters Rewind. I don't think I could do a series on that, but when it finally does come out, and people do ask me about this a lot, yes, I will play Time Splitters Rewind when it's released. I will, for sure, especially if there is going to be online multiplayer. That's the whole point of it. It's going to be the multiplayer only. And I'd love to play Time Splitters multiplayer again with friends. So, yes, whenever that comes out, and maybe by the time I'm doing my 10th anniversary video, then we'll play Time Splitters Rewind. So, right, moving on to Portal 2 was a series I did with Naxa. I don't do many co-op series. Like, I've done a couple with Tom on SOM23. And I suppose you could include, you know, some of the JFS videos could be deemed co-op if I do like a Abercaving or something with a group of people. But I don't do many sort of whole co-op series, and they're fun to do. They're nice to do. They're nice to have someone to bounce off in terms of conversation and topics and commentary. And so it was actually Naxa's idea to do Portal 2, do the custom maps made in the Steam workshop, that sort of thing, or whatever you'd call that. But that turned out really well as well. I really liked that. It was nice. It was one of those series that didn't really have a proper start or end, so we could just choose when we wanted to do it. And it was fun to try some of the Portal 2 maps and see how clever people can be and how sneaky they can be with their level design. It was nice to have Naxa in a series other than Minecraft. And I'm sure that we will continue, maybe not continue that, but there are so many other co-op games. Like, that's one of the things that we talk about quite a lot, the JFS group. We talk about what games we could play as a group, and we're trying to keep on top of it. So things like Golf with Friends, obviously, and yeah, there are lots of other things we could do. So co-op things like that could happen, maybe with a bigger group, but in terms of kind of co-op with 1 or 2 people, yeah, that could also work. There's been kind of little talks about maybe some Minecraft maps or things like that, so we'll see. But yeah, Portal 2 was fun. Did make me feel very stupid at times though, so damn it for that. Next up, Q&As. I don't think these are in any specific order, maybe they are. Q&As are next. Q&As were brought back. I did a first series, if you want to call it that, a couple of years ago now, and I liked it. It was very simple. You just give me questions. I do what I'm doing right now and ramble into the mic, and then put some random video game in the background. And I don't know really how to rate this. Questions were fun. I enjoyed making them. It was nice to see what you guys like. As much as it's probably quite interesting for you guys to hear what I say, it's also interesting to see what you guys ask me, because I got to admit, like, a lot of the questions are very tame. Most of the questions you ask me, pretty tame questions. Sort of, what is your favourite book? What is your favourite film? What is your favourite Bond? That sort of stuff. I was really expecting, and I'm not saying I'm disappointed by this, but I was just expecting it to be a lot weirder questions. Or maybe just... Maybe not creepy. I don't want to say creepy questions, but perhaps a little bit more intrusive, and they weren't. So maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. I will do them again at some point, the Q&A series. So hey, there's always time. But how's my tea doing? Tea temperature? That's getting pretty cold. Hang on. Oh no, it's not. Oh, that's hot. Oh, okay. Yeah, Q&As. So they could always come back, and it's a nice sort of filler series when I don't really have much going on, perhaps, and need a video uploaded. And it's nice to sort of put some different gameplay on the channel as well. Gives me an excuse to play more games, to capture some more footage, and use it in the background. So thank you to everyone who asked questions for that. It will return in the future. Next up, JFS/UHCs. What can I say that hasn't been said about the JFS? Well, actually, no, I can say a fair amount, because this year was pretty different and pretty special for the JFS in terms of members, because this year we held a competition to get some more members on board the server, into our little community, into our little server. And it was, I would say now, with hindsight and 2020, it was a resounding success. Like, the people we picked, they are all lovely people. They all really integrated well into the existing community, and that's one of the best things I think that's happened this year, is that we've really got this nice little chat going, and it's just nice to be able to log on to Discord and chat to some people from across the world. It's one of those things that I always say about the internet, and how it's easy to take it for granted now. We all use the internet many hours a day, every day of our lives, and it's still kind of crazy that I can chat to multiple people across different time zones all across the world, and we can play a game and get to know each other and make friends that way that you could never have done, or it would have been a lot more difficult, with pen pals, with letters maybe. You make friends with people across the world just like that. So simple, so easy. And I'm really, really appreciative of the server for having the kind of giving the basis for that and letting me do that. So, I'm not going to name names in case I miss anyone, but you know who you are if you're watching, all the new members of the JFS. And that's sort of led to new things as well. Like I said, Golf with Friends and possible upcoming series. It all sort of snowballs. So we're doing more things with them for sure. Obviously more things on the server. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be talking about the server, aren't I? Yeah, so there was a bit of a gap, I think, with videos on the server, perhaps. Maybe I'm misremembering that. But we are poised, as of recording, on episode 99.5 of JFS videos. So we have almost reached that 100 mark for this season, season 3. which is really nice. It's a nice number. It's kind of crazy actually, because the server that map's been going for a long time now, since September 2014. So I mean, that's got quite a bit of history just in itself, to be honest. And it's nice that that's still going. It's nice that it's still active. It's nice. It's just nice. I'm going to keep saying it's nice. But no, it is nice that it's still active and there's still players and the map is still growing. And it's just, it'll be so... imagine if it wasn't. Imagine if it was just this nasty ghost town and, you know, you log on and you're always the only one online. That's just sad. And, man, we're just such a lucky, nice group that hasn't just... You see all these... How do I word this? I'm tripping over my words here. You see these communities based on a particular server, maybe. I can't really think of any off the top of my head. But, you know, like all these kind of... Maybe like another fan server or some sort of SMP server. And if the host doesn't pay for the server and it goes down, well, then that's pretty much it. Then the whole community collapses and everyone goes off on their own ways and probably never speaks to each other again, or, you know, that's probably what will happen. And that's it. It's like it never happened. I can safely say that I think even if that happened with us, let's just say that the server stopped dead in its tracks and it was gone. It was gone for good now. I could comfortably say that I think I'd still talk to members on there and we'd still play games together and we'd still do stuff, which I think is a good sign. It's a sign that it's kind of what Minecraft was always going on about, wasn't it? Like, Good and that they'd always say, you know, they're more than just a Minecraft server. That's Minecraft is more than just Minecraft. And I think, weirdly, the JSano fan server, it's in the name, but I think that's more than the JSano fan server now, which is makes me happy. It really does. Okay, I've rambled about that long enough now. Let's move on. The guys aren't that great. They're all plebs, really. Okay. Next up is a couple of things that I did just a little bit different this year. Slightly different videos. Particularly towards the end of last year, I felt like I perhaps hadn't done as much as I could have done with some videos. And what I mean by that is that I'm lucky enough to have like a little audience, not a massive audience, but to anyone watching, you know, you're my audience, and I'm lucky enough to have people that want to watch my stuff, and so there is a risk of maybe scaring off that audience with weird things, but at the same time, it's an opportunity to try out stuff and see what people think of it. So let's start off with the more stupid angle of that, which was the Simpsons Advent calendars. It was a nice idea. I'm glad I came up with the idea in time to do it, which is have a silly little 2-minute video of The Simpsons made using the Simpsons Cartoon Studio during the Advent period, so the 1st of December up until the 25th. And it was experimental in that I didn't really know what I was going to do. You know, I'll make these silly cartoons, but how can I make a story about them, or what am I going to do them about? And, well, would you look at that, what ended up happening was kind of disturbing, unsettling murder and death and Ned Flanders with a lawnmower. So, just what you want during the Christmas festive period. Murder, death and gore. No, but it was just weird. It was just different. I was like, you know what? I don't care if it's weird. It kind of almost started before that with that weird Trump video. I was like, you know what? I want to make a really stupid Trump video, vaguely related to all the stuff that was happening on the server. And I was like, should I put this up? I did debate. I was like, should I put this up on the channel? Is this going to look odd? I had that sort of, I don't know. I guess the way to word it is, beforehand, I had this picture in my mind that I have to keep this channel purely video game centric. And okay, I've obviously had the Bond reviews and a couple other things, but for the most part, it is video games, and I want to keep it sort of clean like that, and not spread out in weird ways. That's kind of the image I had in my mind beforehand. But now I'm sort of like, screw that. Just do whatever you feel like. Do what you feel like, as Brad Goodman or Bart Simpson would say. So that's why I was like, let's make these weird. I don't care if people think they're odd. And some people did, because some of them got a lot of dislikes. Some people really didn't get the joke, which is fine. But I'm now liking the idea of sort of testing and pushing the boundaries of my own channel just a little bit, and seeing what I can get away with, and some things might sink and suck, and some things might be a hit and work. So that's kind of what that Simpsons Advent was about. And on a more serious, somber note, that's what the Carrie Fisher tribute video was about. It was very, very different to anything I'd ever done before on the channel. It was complete opposite of that Simpsons stuff, in that it was supposed to be quite serious and a nice look at the career and the person that was Carrie Fisher, and the tragedy of her and her mother's death at Christmas. So it was like I put this all in the description of the video. I hope you read it, because I tried to write it out and make it understandable as to why I made that video. But I heard the song, which was a song by Paul Simon about his and Carrie Fisher's relationship, and I just thought, it just clicked in my mind, like, that would make for a really good video, and it seems like a nice thing to do, and it went down well. People seem to like it. So that sort of stuff, I don't want to have any inhibitions, basically, in the future. If I feel like I want to do something, I'm just going to do it. So you might see weirder stuff on the channel, you might not. That's a warning to you all now, okay? Alright, ending off with the last two series. They are the newest series, and that is Planet Coaster and Back to the Future. Planet Coaster is a tricky series. It's one that I have such high hopes for, and it's going well. Don't get me wrong, it's really going well. But there are perhaps storm clouds are brewing on the horizon in terms of lag. I really hope that lag doesn't become too much of a factor to stop me recording, because it's such a good game. It's like Minecraft. It's creative, and you can just get away with so much detail and do it to your heart's content, and I love it for that. It's brilliant. Perhaps even too much choice, but let's not get into that. It's such a nice game, but it is an intensive game to play and record, and my computer, she goes on day-to-day stuff, Minecraft, fine, whatever, but she does start to grumble with Planet Coaster, and I don't want to have to make it 720p and lower the graphics even lower, even though I think they're on low already. So I'm going to have to see what happens with that. And then you've got the whole issue with the kind of creative block, which could happen, and has happened a little bit. So I hope I sort of overcome that. But I do, as long as I can, as long as I'm able to, I will continue Planet Coaster, because I do love it, and I really I have this vision in my head of the park, and I want it to be put into the game, and I want you guys to see it. So again, I've got to give a massive shout out to Weathermaster for gifting me that game. It was such a nice, very kind gesture to do, and it really surprised me, actually, when he told me, and I got the little pop up on Steam, because I was in a chat with him on Discord, and I was like, you can't do that, no, it's too much. But yeah, it was a really nice thing of him to do, so thank you again, Weather. Okay, finally, Back to the Future. One of those point and clicks that I've wanted to play for a long, long time. I love Back to the Future, I love point and clicks, and at the moment, it's going well. A little bit slow in terms of video uploads. I'm sorry about that. Christmas and New Year did put a delay in that. Same for Planet Coaster. But no, it's a solid game so far. And okay, there's a little bit of hiccups in terms of audio I've noticed at times, and maybe a little bit clunky in the movement. But I've got to give it to them. So far, of what I've played, it really does feel like another Back to the Future game in a way. Like, it feels like another story that could have been told in that universe. So, and that's what Telltale do well, don't they? Like, you could criticize the graphics or the quick time events or whatever, but most people play Telltale games because they make good stories, particularly Walking Dead and what's the other one? The Wolf Among Us, is that what it's called? I think people really like that one. Batman one, I think, had a good storyline. So yeah, it's got a good story, Back to the Future, and there's a lot more to come, because there's 5 episodes of that, and we're only sort of getting through the first one, so that's good. That's good to know. And at the moment, it's not making me feel too stupid. I know we've only just started, but not too stupid yet, so that's a good sign. We'll see how it goes, though. Alright, my tea is definitely... It must be getting cold now. It is getting a little bit low now. I better drink that fast soon. But before that, I gotta ramble a little bit more. So that was all the series. I do want to quickly say about live streams though, because live streaming, as usual, has continued throughout the past year. And there's not terribly much to say in terms of like, yep, I still love doing live streams. It's very nice to see people in the chat, and it's very nice to see kind of returning names. Like there's a dedicated group of you who always seem to turn up, and I don't know how, because my streaming schedule is out the window. Like I used to stream every other Saturday. I don't do that anymore, and I probably won't, because if anything, that's too infrequent now. I'd want to stream more than that. But yeah, there's a group of you who always seem to make it, even if I stream at like a completely random time. So thank you to you. You know who you are. I do appreciate it. It's always nice to have someone there, and you're not just talking to yourself. But yeah, like I still love doing it. I will say that I've tried to do some different games and some different things, particularly more recently, like the later end of the year. Like it's very easy to play more Simpsons Hit and Run, which I've done, and it's very easy to play Time Splitters or what other ones could there be? Destroy Humans, and I have done some of those because it's nice to revisit those games every once in a while. But people do ask for those games a lot, and the thing is that I've said this in the past. You know, I want to try and avoid that a little bit, because streaming is a good opportunity to play different games that perhaps wouldn't make for a very good Let's Play, but they'd make for a really good live stream. Maybe there's some nice interaction involved, or you know, it's a weird game that it takes too long to learn, but it's like fun to try out for a little bit. That sort of thing. That's where I think live streaming really excels. You know, or I pick up these random PS2 games from the game shop and try it out on a stream, and it's a good way to test games. Sometimes there might be a really fun game that could turn into a Let's Play. Sometimes it's a big heap of trash that was really bad but funny to watch. So that's why I like trying out new games. Live streaming. I don't know why I keep putting Twitch in the description of things, because I've now, you know, I'm solidly on board the YouTube streaming for now, because I think it just works. People ask, you know, why do you have the Twitch stuff still going if you're not going to stream on there? But you never know. Twitch is really moving places in terms of like it really, you can tell it. They really want to become the place where content creators go. Like people say, like they're getting way more money. If you're interested in that, there's way more money in Twitch, and you know, they treat their content creators and the streamers better than YouTube does. So it'll be silly to rule out Twitch completely in the future, which is why I still keep all the links there. But for the time being, it's easier and faster and better for viewers if I stay on YouTube, because you know, you can control the quality. It's less lag in terms of, I think there's still a delay, but there's maybe less lag in terms of stuttering, things like that. I don't need to go into this again, you already know. So yeah, definitely still doing the YouTube, I guess it's called YouTube gaming stream, but never mind. Yeah, but like, I was going to give some examples of those games. Sort of things like, I mean, well, very recently I did a live stream of randomly gifted Steam games given to me by the JFS members. That was funny, just to see some very odd games, and also a bit of Club Penguin. That was a laugh. There's another game called Curse of the Assassin, which was a choose-your-own adventure book type game, a bit like the fighting fantasy novels. That was different. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a massive success. It was fun though. It was fun to try out. I've also did the Simpsons quizzes, which finally kind of figured out a way to do those with Kahoot, using Kahoot.it, which is a quiz website. And it was a little bit shaky, I'll say that. Like, I didn't quite work out the timing and stuff for that first one with the Simpsons quiz live stream, but I would say it definitely has potential. I still have many more questions to use up, so we'll do another one of those in the future. And I hope that people can make it, and I hope, I'm just going to call you out now, I hope you have better Simpsons knowledge, because, to be frank, I was a little bit disappointed with the results of that. I really did think that more of you would know more about The Simpsons. So that's my plea to you, is to do some more Simpsons homework in time for the next stream. All right? Thank you. Okay. And very recently, as in only the other day, I live streamed a game called Orion Trail, which is this kind of choose your own adventure sci-fi game, and that's such a fun game. I'm definitely going to stream that again because I had such a blast playing that. It's a nice, casual, fun. I think it's like the perfect live streaming game. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, now I'm really rambling. It's been about half an hour now, and I've just been talking and talking and talking. So I should probably wrap this up. I don't need to go over the whole, it's been 6 years again. That is a lot of time, and I'm thankful to everyone who has stuck by me for 6 years. I hope you've enjoyed the content I've produced over the 6 years. I know I have. I say that I make this for audiences, and I do. I make this for people to watch, but I also make it for myself because I like editing. I like recording. I like making videos. It's a nice hobby. At the end of the day, it's just a very nice hobby. Some people go and play sports. Some people go and watch trains. Some people bake cakes. And I make YouTube videos, and I really do enjoy it. It's nice to kind of hone my skills using Premiere Pro and After Effects and all that stuff for some projects. And it's nice just to whip up a video and see what you guys think of it. So, yeah, that's really about it, to be honest. I don't think there's much else to say. I hope this was vaguely interesting and wasn't boring you all to tears. But that has been another anniversary video checked off the list. What's next? 7 years. Oh, God. Oh, see, I'm doing it already and I haven't even got there yet. 7 years. No, that's for a year's time. Okay, that's it. I will put, just out of interest, I'll put the previous year's anniversary videos in the description of this one. So if you want to go back and watch my first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year anniversary videos, they'll all be in the description. You can see all the stuff I've said and how many times I've said about how time is going too quickly. But in terms of things going quickly, my tea is very quickly getting cold. So I'm going to end this off here, drink my tea. Thank you all very much for watching. Here's to another year of making videos. I'll see you in the next one.